It's the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube guys. How you doing, Connie? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. I figured I'd do something a little different. Oh, I didn't finish these guys off. Yeah. I'm referring to French fries that I picked up for dinner. Winter chicken dinner. And I don't know how many of you have heard, but I'm participating in WyzDraws. Oh my gosh. Look who's here. Looky here. So, as you might imagine, I was actually talking about you, dude. If you want to hop on, you're welcome to. If you have time, if not, that's fine too. I'm not doing this the ideal way. I should have just taken the time to order them online. Excuse me. But I am way behind on this project that I'm participating in, which is for the Welcome WyzDraws. I'm participating in Dillard's Boomerang Box 2.5. How do we do this? So, how do we do this? Probably would have been a bigger time saver just to buy them online. But I went to a bunch of stores trying to find what I needed, and basically I ended up with these. They're softcover pocket sketchbooks, 3.5 inch by 5.5 inch, and my plan was to make trading cards, but trading cards are like two. Oh, you know what? Let me grab super duper gay Risey.
Hey, what's going
on? How's it going, man?
It's Risey Lee's birthday today. He didn't like my new name, though.
I wonder why. I wonder why. Let me pull out one of these thingamajiggers.
Look at my hair. I'm turning my camera off.
Put it back on. Wait a minute. What?
Oh, I put Risey Lee's head on a gay man's body.
On a gay man's body? Oh my gosh. I wasn't sure.
I guess this is better. My face is better.
Yeah, so this is like going to be ultra homemade because.
What is it exactly?
I'm making handmade trading cards, more or less.
Oh my! How many?
27.
Oh my god.
Well. So let's see. I've got these guys. Let me see how hard it's going to be. It's probably going to be very challenging, and it's probably going to be. It's going to test my skills in using a blade, and then it's probably going to show me that I suck. Let's see here.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I wanted to. I didn't want to take the time to go online and order. I didn't want to take the time to go to Amazon to order already made ones.
It probably would have saved you some money if you ordered them online.
It probably would have, and it probably would have saved me a hell of a lot of time. because it would have saved me from having to do this. But since I went through the trouble already to get it, I figure, I guess I may as well just give it a go. See if we can art bin. See if we can accomplish anything. Wow. I got this art bin in 1995. Ooh.
1995? That's like 5 years after I was born.
Damn. These tools are, wow, 5 years older than you.
No, that's not true. I'm much older than that.
So, oh, I do have some screws. Why the hell did I throw them in my art tools instead of keeping them with my?
What a wacky guy.
Yeah, you might say that. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Waterproof Higgins ink. Black India ink. It's still.
Is it still liquid?
Yeah. Shit. What a trip. So anyway, this is all leading to the end goal of getting ready and done for the boomerang box of all things. Oh, there's a blade. I could either use this one, which may or may not work.
So I don't understand. How does this actually work?
How does what work?
Why do you need a blade?
Well, it's either that or scissors. Maybe I should sketch out the lines.
Well, what
first.
exactly are you cutting?
I'm cutting I've got these little notepads.
Oh, and you're going to cut them down to card size.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Exactement. So, who's got the boomerang box now?
Currently, the boomerang box left the metal and has arrived at Muttman's house. The guy who did, where's that book? It's called Hero, Blood of Patriots, this book.
Oh.
This guy here that signed it, Mutt.
All right.
He's the artist, and the book's currently at his house.
Oh.
Or the box is currently at his house.
So how many people did it go to after Adam Post?
Let's see. After Adam Post, I believe it went straight to metal.
Oh.
So this is only the fourth person it's been at.
Okay.
And after Muttman, it's going to be leaving Muttman's and going to Jason Robinson. Jason Robinson is better known as Jiminy Cricket.
Okay. All right.
And he is the artist for Nasser's current book.
Oh.
The Secret Comics Presents.
Okay. Is Jiminy Cricket one of your homies?
Yes, he is.
Oh, crap. You know what?
I met him through the Drawn and Quartered fan edition.
Oh, okay.
About 2-3 years ago.
All right. All right.
A very practiced and very accomplished artist.
Oh, good.
He actually even did a comic for McFarlane, a Spawn comic.
Holy cow! Really?
Yeah, it was like one of those comics they put inside of like one of the McFarlane toys.
Oh, wow.
One of those mini comics. He did one of those for McFarlane.
That's a trip.
So he got to draw Spawn in a official capacity.
No kidding. Yeah, legit. Oh, here's a thing. I wonder where my nibs are. No.
So once you cut down these cards and they are card size, you're going to draw each individual trading card?
Yep. That's the idea.
Damn. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I was going to do, let's see. The idea was to do Let's see if I do this right.
And how many of these trading cards were you going to put in the box? Like 1 or 2?
All 27.
Shut up. Don't put all 27 cards in the box. They're all going to one person.
Well, I wasn't clear about that final part because I thought I heard you say something about some of the contents maybe being portioned off so that there's like a third place, a second place, or 2 or 3 smaller winners and then 1 grand prize winner who gets the bulk. So I don't know. And there might be, I know it's hard to believe, but there might be a remote chance that someone might actually like some of these. Oh yeah, I got this blade too. Well, I was thinking I'd do 1 sheet. They would be like Fandom Menace related, characters from Fandom Menace. 1 sheet would be Comicsgate, possibly Comicsgate characters, just my rendition. And then the 3rd page would be Comicsgate personalities.
Oh. So 3 full sheets, 9 cards per page.
Yeah, that was the idea. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off, but that was the idea.
It would be easier.
What?
If you drew all these things on 1 piece of paper and then just cut that piece of paper into 9 pieces.
Oh, shit.
Like they used to do for those Marvel masterpieces.
Dang.
Montages.
That's a very good idea. Shoot. Just use scissors. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Oh, damn.
That way, if there was a complete set, would be the valuable thing would be that that is complete,
And it came from the same sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Why didn't I think of that? I could have had a V8. What the hell? Let's see. I wonder, can I use this? 2.5 by 3.5. Let me see how many might fit here. So what have you been up to, man?
Coloring feverishly.
Are you all done?
I had to do some coloring on a very uncomfortable page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very graphic page.
Uh-huh.
And
what made it uncomfortable? Just the detail?
Yeah, it's one thing to draw it. It's something completely different to color it and shade it and add highlights and lowlights.
Oh, right.
So I was in the middle of coloring it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live and just do this live.
That's a good idea. Create content for your channel at the same time.
Yeah. And then everybody was like, "That's so gross. Why are you even doing this?" But it's important that you kind of get the feeling of the aftermath of the things the buckler does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's all well and good, like as a guy, I'm sure that you've been on the receiving end and probably on the the delivery end of like punches or towel slaps or nut shots or flat tires or dead legs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I've been fortunate. I've avoided flat tires. Flat tires inflicted on me by other people.
Right.
I've had standard flat tires from just general driving.
No, I mean a flat tire like you're walking and somebody steps on the back of your shoe.
Oh, that. Oh.
And they go flat tire.
All right. I was thinking literal.
Towel snaps, things that guys do to torture each other.
Yeah.
They'll do the whole, St. Patrick's Day rolls around in high school, and they don't pinch you; they punch you because you're a guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the buckler did. He went and he gave somebody a nut shot, just a little flick with the back of his hand to the nuts,
But because he's got the strength of like 2 or 3 men, it's significantly harder on the recipient.
Yeah, the recipient his testicle ended up exploding.
Oh.
And I wanted to kind of show how callous the buckler is because he does these things because he doesn't really have any kind of, I guess you would say like a thermometer or barometer in his head as to what other people go through because of his actions.
Right.
So the very next scene is it's a scene of this superhero, or this wannabe hero, right? Getting his testicle sewed up, and and he's writhing in pain on the table. You want to see it?
Sure.
Let's see here. Okay, let me open the previous page so you can see the why he did what he did.
Welcome, Chimera. That is some name, Dillard.
Hey, thank you. All right, I'm just Chimera. I'm explaining to WyzGyz here about the image that I was drawing yesterday.
Has Chimera's already seen it?
I'm possibly. All right, so here's the setup, right? The buckler went to go speak to his ex-wife.
Uh-huh.
He just got back in town. He wanted to go say hello, maybe try to influence her to leave her current husband. Now that he's back in town and he's got this totem that's going to make him a big shot, that's going to give him what he finally deserves, And they're telling him, you got to leave, dude. You got to leave. We don't want no trouble. Her husband is home right now. So leave and don't cause no ruckus. And the buckler's like, that's not what I'm going to do. But then they tell him, look up in the upper window up there. The light's on and you can see that your daughter is watching what you're doing right now. So don't do something stupid. So his hands are kind of tied. He doesn't want to do anything in front of his kid. But this guy right here is just poking at him. He's telling him essentially, yeah, what are you going to do about it, tough guy? He's being an ass, It's like, why don't you just get out of here? We know you're not going to do anything, so why don't you just get out of here, you jerk? So, of course, the buckler leans over and flicks him in the nuts, right?
Of course.
He's not going to attack him outright, but he's going to flick him in the nuts. But because he has the strength of 3 men, this is the result here. And I put it in a tasteful diagram. That way it's not, real life.
A tasteful diagram.
It's basically medical diagram, okay? And so he's on the floor writhing in pain, and Miss Maple is kind of gliding down to help him out. And the buckler, this is his reaction, right? This is kind of his attitude. He walks away with his hands up like, yeah, you guys shouldn't open his mouth. And that's the last the buckler will ever think of this interaction and situation. Yeah, but this guy, he's got a whole bunch of stuff he has to deal with. And his night is basically ruined. And the next couple of weeks of his life are basically ruined, right?
Oh, damn straight. Oh, my God.
So, so you move on to the next page. And in order to really let that sink in and linger, and, kind of. So here's the next scene. There's going to be a speech bubble here. Right here, coming out of this door.
Mulroney's Mattress, Piper's
Christian Bookstore.
Okay. And what's the last one? G4 or something? G4
Superhero Inc.
Oh, all right.
Because they're not real superheroes. This group of people that were harassing the buckler, the only one that actually has powers is the Miss Maple, and the only thing she can do is basically float.
Oh, all right.
She's a little bit more resilient than the average chick, and she can float on the air pretty quickly, but if you were on foot running, you would be able to outrun her.
Oh, you would?
Mhm.
Okay.
She can't fly that fast.
You didn't show me this. I love nuts. Oh my god.
So this
Dude.
is where their headquarters is. It's basically in a mini mall next to a mattress store.
Oh my gosh.
And so there's going to be a speech bubble coming out of this door, and it's going to be that guy Reggie, right? The one that got hit, and he's basically going to be screaming, you know, you're like, take me to the hospital, please, right? But they can't, because if you take him to a hospital, it's going to kind of get out because they're public figures.
Uh-huh.
They do it for basically sponsorships. They do it for the gram. They do it for the Facebook clout. They get sponsorships, and they do have somebody that is funding them, you know, for whatever they cannot get in sponsorships. So they're there at their, you know, at their hideout, and this is Miss Maple, and this is Vuti. Vuti is the guy, this Tibetan-looking fellow here.
Huh?
He's the leader, right? And so this is Miss Maple, this girl on the right here. She's the one that is kind of like the hired on superhero. Because she does have powers, and she's kind of has established like a reputation in the city of Toronto. But they hire her to come and help with the buckler problem, and she just kind of witnessed firsthand that the buckler is not someone to be trifled with, and she can't handle or help their situation. But she is busy right now sewing up this guy's nuts.
Oh. Damn. Dang.
And then there's Vera, who is the fourth member of the Gateway 4, and she's kind of standing off in the corner down here, and she's like, Jesus.
So the guy Buckler did this to, he's not considered he's not like one of their quote unquote heroes, right?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is part of the team?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There were 4 members. Now this is the story that's not going to get addressed in this book, but this is just my backstory lore.
Right.
There was a 4th member that got kicked out so that they could bring in Miss Maple.
All right.
Miss Maple is the girl in the orange up here. She's the one, and she has experience being a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So she has some basic EMT skills. She knows how to work with whatever she got. She's resourceful. She's resilient. She's kind of smart. She's been doing this for a while, and because she actually has powers, people give her a little more respect than they would these guys who are powerless.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So that's what I had to do. So I decided to do that live, and everybody was very uncomfortable, and it was a lot of fun.
So you're doing the coloring of like 1 or 2 pages worth?
Oh, right now?
No, I mean on that string.
No, that was just that one panel.
Oh, that one panel. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It takes a long time. The way I color, I'm not very good at coloring. I take a long time.
Chimera says, I'll send you some SOS books, Dillard. Hit me up. Dark humor and action. You'll like it.
I probably will like it. I'll hit you up.
You're a regular Garth Ennis, huh, Dillard?
No. I'm Mexican, wise guy.
That's what Chimera says. I wasn't the one who made the comment.
Oh. So I don't want it to be something really vulgar like that comic book Crossed, where it's just like gore and viscera and aborted fetuses and intestines hanging on the floor and stuff and flayed skin, and you know, I don't want it to be anything like that, but I do need to show that when the buckler messes around, there are consequences that he don't care about, and this is the reason why people hate him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real character building and attention to detail, which is important in any kind of storytelling.
He says, Garth Ennis writes a lot of dark humor. noob. Hey, he called me a noob.
Man, you're a noob, a booby.
Not even a NEWB, like I'm gonna get better. Like he called me a straight up noob, NOOB, like I'm just a perpetual noob, like I'm a boomer.
Wow. What up? What up, though?
I'll have you know, my last live stream got more than 7 likes.
Dang. Sweet.
People out there like me, WyzGyz.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're more popular than me, man. People like that you're so talented. And yeah.
People like me because of my encyclopedic knowledge of everything comics related.
Well, that too. Yeah. You got a point. True that.
My God, it's so stressful. I wonder what WyzGyz is drawing. Or are you still cutting?
Well, I'm drawing them out, and then I'll cut them afterwards.
Ah, okay.
So this is 12. So it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 pages. And you were absolutely right. This is a better, smarter idea.
So who are going to be the 9 Comicsgate characters that are going to be on your panel?
I don't know.
You better tell me.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is the Buckler going to be on there? Look at this guy. He won't answer me. He don't want to include the Buckler.
Well, at first I was thinking, well, you know,
Let me guess. You're going to put Cyber Frog.
I'm trying to. At one point, I was going to do Comicsgate characters. Then I was thinking, well, maybe it would be fun to do Comicsgate personalities, actual creators. You know, I don't know if I'd actually do like caricatures of them or if I just do realistic looking pictures of them. But now I'm kind of thinking it would be cool to have a creator beside one of their creations. So, like,
I don't understand creators that have more than one creation.
Well, I mean, like, as an example, I'd have a WyzDraws standing next to his Buckler in one card.
Oh, I see.
Maybe Mandy Summers with Wart the Wizard. John Malin with Lilith or something like that. That kind of idea. Or maybe like do a celebration of the.
Well, if you do one of me and the Buckler, I want you to have me in the background like this. Like commanding somebody to rise from their grave, and then in the foreground have the ground breaking up and the Buckler being created and pieces of tendon and sinew like attaching to his joints and bones and stuff, like I'm creating him out of thin air like a fantastic necromancer.
Damn.
And fit all that on a sketch card.
That's a wicked idea. Damn. All that on on a freaking sketch card.
Oh, let's see. Chimera says there was a Buckler ash can on the Canadian Shield campaign. Any way to get that? Not at the moment. I am going to be reprinting some of those as a second print. The ash cans. Apparently, people like the ash can. They want the ash can. WyzGyz.
Well, sure.
It was fun to do. It certainly was. Let me see if I have a copy of it around here. Because realistically, I only have all of them have been accounted for on the Buckler campaign. Because if you backed at the $90 tier, you would get an original sketch plus a copy of the ash can, which is like his origin of his villainy. And those have already been all sold out. So those are all accounted for, all the extra ones that I have left. I only have like 3 or 4 other ones, and those are in real rough shape. They've kind of just been hanging around on my desk, collecting dust, getting bent, you know?
Oh, the special dust collected edition.
Yeah. I have no dust jacket for them.
Well, that makes them more worth more because they're battle damaged.
And no, I don't think that's how that works. And they also reek of cigarette smoke. But, you know. So I am going to be planning on getting those printed out, but printed out in the size of a full comic.
Oh, okay.
The way they were printed up, let me see if I can find one. I'm sorry. Oh, it's right there. 1 second.
Uh-huh.
It's over here on the floor. All right, you can see this is pretty small.
All right.
It's a little ash can. All right, and it's in black and white, and it has a little prologue story in the beginning, and it just gets right into it. You know, it's kind of shows you how he was 4 years before the beginning of the Buckler graphic novel. He was out there trying to be a hero. His costume looks different. As you can see, he used to have a cape. You know? So then this is where he actually meets my buddy Cross Comics character, the Canadian Shield. He's a big super fan of the Canadian Shield. And he wants to be just like him, which is, in this book, his costume's supposed to be black or red and white, just like the Canadian Shield.
Oh, really?
And you can see here the Canadian Shield is up on a rooftop. He's up on a rooftop looking over the city of Winnipeg, you know, kind of watching the Buckler do his thing.
Uh-huh.
So when the Buckler does finally mess up and get somebody hurt, the Canadian Shield has to come down and intervene, and this is his first appearance.
Oh, dang.
Massive beast of a man, you know.
Whoa.
And then here's the Buckler over here, very scared.
Dang, that's a difference. That's wow.
Because this is kind of like a psychodrama, right? Like, think of like Ren and Stimpy cartoon, Space Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Where they kind of, everything they see is not actual reality. It's just kind of a distorted version of reality they're experiencing because they're going through trauma at the time. So if you were to think back and remember something, you know, you always remember something that was very exciting, very differently than how it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Canadian Shield's not so big like this, and not so muscly and not so veiny. But at the time, this is how he was seeing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, larger than life.
Yeah, yeah. So then he gets disgraced and gets his cape ripped off by the Shield, and he leaves him there to think about his failure and tells him, I don't ever want to see you playing superhero in this town again, you know? And which causes then in this series of panels here, the Buckler to slowly start to go through trauma and sweat, and he's telling this girl not to laugh at me. I'm a hero, you cow. And he starts to choke this woman who saw and was laughing at him.
No.
And then he has to leave town because he's a bad guy now, you know?
Man, this fall from grace.
And of course, you got that bastard Todd Harrington saw the whole thing and he was taking photographs the whole time.
Yeah.
You can't stop that gumshoe from being like the smoothest investigative reporter in Winnipeg.
What's that other thing that was on that other page? Only on Webtoon? Was that?
Oh yeah, this is another little series I'm working on for Webtoon called Cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut.
Yeah, but I haven't put anything up for that yet.
Huh. Is that like going to be your next project after Buckler?
No. That's just a little side thing that's really easy to do. I'm doing it very cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you, actually. It's still up on Webtoon. Let me turn off this air. It's just really hot right now. I want to have the air on a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty warm here too.
Let me go to Webtoon and find it. Webtoon Cosmonaut. I only have like 3 little updates on there right now.
Chimera says, "Ooh, Delta going to draw Buckler for the rest of his life, and that's it. Thinks he's a tough guy."
I mean, if the buckler even has a little bit of success, I'm not gonna just stop doing him, you know, because I feel like I need to do something else. No. I'm gonna keep drawing the buckler.
Chimera says, "I'll take a bent one. I don't care."
Okay, yeah, hit me up in my DMs, and we'll see about getting you one.
I gotta look at my backings. I'm pretty certain I backed Buckler, but I don't remember what level. I'll have to double check.
Well, don't get too banana shape about it. Okay, so here's my screen. I'm gonna share it now, my entire screen, and this is my webtoon webpage called Cosmonaut. There's a little girl, and this essentially what this is it's a bunch of kids.
All right.
Their parents' spaceship got attacked by aliens, and they jettisoned in a little escape ship, like kind of like a runabout from Star Trek.
All right.
So they have control, and the oldest girl is 16 years old. She is the captain's daughter. So she has like two people under her. One of them is her friend, her best friend. And then the other one, which is this little girl, and she's only probably around like 12, 13. But she's like the head of security now. She's trying to give everybody jobs like Lord of the Flies style.
Okay. All right.
So that they have like a semblance of normalcy.
Yeah,
but but this girl's getting jealous because, you know, she wants to be best friends with the captain and she wants the good jobs, but you know, the other girl who is the captain's daughter's actual best friend is telling her, just do your job, get out of here, right? So she's like, that stupid, dirty old hag. The girl's only like 15, 16, but she's calling her an old hag. Says, what makes her so damn special? And then this girl, this is the captain's daughter. And she's telling her friend, you know, you really need to be nicer to Charlotte. Charlotte's this younger girl here. Says, she doesn't know that she's insufferable. And this is her friend, her other friend, who's like younger, but she's like a dirty, grungy girl. And she's also the engineer. And she's like, it's your fault she's so up her own ass. I don't know where you found that official medal, a Cracker Jack box or whatever, but she loves that damn thing. And she's like, stop it, it's real. She's like, anyway, the ship is fine. It's self-repairing as we speak. She's like, but for reals though, she makes more problems than she solves. Maybe someone else is a better fit. Better fit. Yeah, I messed up on the lettering there. She's like, no, Vi. All the kids need to feel important and useful, especially her. She says, as you wish, Your Majesty. The important ones await. Let's see you get these VIPs back to work. There's a bunch of little kids.
My gosh, wow. That's pretty neat.
So then little kids are like, Captain. And he's like, and then the captain talking. He's like, oh my gosh, Thomas, what happened to your head? And then he's like, there was two of them, Captain. She's like, what did you do? I killed them both. And then she's like, oh my gosh, Thomas, you're so brave. Did they hurt you bad? Charlotte really needs help from a brave soldier. And then this girl's kind of like in love with her best friend, but her best friend's not crazy and gay like she is. So she's sad about it. And so the next episode, love can wait.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's a little drama there.
Yep.
So is it, and this is hosted by Webtoons?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one website where if they like your product enough, they'll like pay you to keep it as an ongoing series?
Yes.
And
I think it's called being featured or something. I'm not really sure about it. I only put three things on there, so like this is the next update. So the captain's talking to the kids, and she's like, if you think you're up to it, we could really use your help out there. And the kids are like, oh, heck yeah, for sure, Captain Ma'am, sir. And then she's thinking to herself, well, at least the kids will be getting back to work. It's been almost 6 months and only 3 readings of Dark Matter Crumbs. All of them led to nothing. Honestly, I don't even feel guilty. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to feel? And then you see something creeping behind her in this green thing. And she's like, well, I guess I feel it then. And then if you look at the grate, there's a monster in there.
There's a monster in my closet.
And the grate's opening and the little monster's tentacles are coming out. And he said, "What about me, Captain? Do they need me out there too?" And the other kid's like, "I'm feeling better too." And then the next one, the monster jumps out and snatches her all up. She's like, "Oh my God." And the monster says, "Bwahahaha." And then she's like, "Marie, help." And that's the end. And it says, "Next, the pickle."
That's cute. That's cute. You got quite the imagination. Chimera says, I DM'd you super duper gay Ryzy.
Oh, okay. Let me go check my DMs.
Sliding into your DMs. You probably don't want to share who you're.
I can DM you $10 for the ash can. Also, with your PO box, I'll send you all my SOS books. He's yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. No problem.
Okay. Welcome, Past Master Dan. Okay, I'll admit it. When I saw the thumbnail, I thought you were streaming from a grow room and had to check it out. What?
Streaming from a what?
Streaming from a grow room? Are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. I have all this. Watch, I'll turn off my screen here. But I have all this insulation behind me.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's this stuff. It's bubble wrapped insulation.
Are you intentionally trying to make yourself hot?
No. I'm trying to keep the inside of this room cool. I have a new air conditioner. I just turned it off because I only need to turn it on for a couple of seconds, and then all of a sudden it gets really cold in here. But it starts the heat because this is basically a shed. This has no insulation on the inside of the walls.
Oh, all right.
So it loses heat really fast.
What made you go with a bubble wrap solution?
Because I don't want to tear down the walls and put in actual insulation. So I just put the bubble wrap over it. It actually does help. It keeps the room cooler for about a good half an hour longer than it normally would.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Because this room is basically a shed. It's outside. Like, it's not in my house.
Oh.
It's outside in the yard. And it's all by itself, right? And it has no insulation. The guy that moved it here, named Burnaby, this used to be like a regular shed. And my mother-in-law was like, "Oh, put some walls on it, right? So it can be like a room, but real cheap." So of course he didn't insulate it. He just put drywall up. So this thing heats up just like it would a regular shed in the backyard.
Oh, wow.
Like real hot.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to work in without some sort of air conditioning, which is why there I put air conditioning in the wall up there.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So this thing essentially is it's an 8.5 by 10.5 room with a 10,000 BTU air conditioner, because anything less than that will not cool this room down.
Oh.
Because it gets that hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty hot in these sheds. So is that your office?
Yeah, this is basically where I do everything that I feel like doing.
Oh my gosh.
Because we sold our house, right?
You did? What?
Yeah, we sold our house right before the coronavirus hit. And we were like, that's really weird. So we were in a hotel for a little bit because we were looking for another house. And we had some stuff that was pending. And then my wife's dad was like, "Why don't you come and move in over here?" Right? And I was like, "I really don't want to move in with my father-in-law and my mother-in-law for obvious reasons."
Right. Yeah, sure.
But he convinced me because he was like, number one, you're wasting money in a hotel. Number two, I need help at the house because the dude's, in his 70s.
Okay. And
he used to be a tire man. So his knees are like completely shot. He has no more cartilage in his knees or hips.
Oh, damn.
So he's like, I could really use somebody to help me out because they have this house. This house is massive. This house it's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath.
Whoa.
On 2 acres of property. And it's just him and his wife who are elderly.
Oh, wow.
and he can't get his son to live there and take care of the house, and he doesn't want to get rid of the house at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because normally when you get older, you might sell your house and downsize to a smaller house that you can take care of easier.
Oh, for sure.
But, you know, he's an old school Mexican dude. He wants his property. He wants his land, you know?
Yeah.
Not going to give it up for nothing.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
So so in return for me having this room all to myself, I kind of do like all the weed abatement and stuff and keep the yard in serviceable condition.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's just too much yard to do anything with, unless you have a lot of money, you know.
So, are you and your wife planning on? Has your father-in-law brought up the idea of you developing on a portion of his land?
Yeah, what he wants me to do is he wants me to take one of the acres and build a house on it. And I'm like, I mean, it's an idea, right? But I don't feel comfortable spending the money that I had set aside for my next house on building on somebody else's property that I don't own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
So I don't know if I want to do that. But to be, you know, blatantly honest, the house essentially already is my wife's. It's legally hers.
Right.
They've already titled it over to her. But still, it's like, in the spirit of it is that when they transferred the title over to her in her name,
Mm-hmm.
that they would still be in charge of the property. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just under her name. So it's like, I don't want to breach that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Yeah. That makes sense.
Because it was kind of like a mutual understanding that I'm still the boss around here already. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I say goes. So if I build something down there and he feels like building, you know, a horse corral right next to the main house, I can't exactly tell him no. You know what I mean?
Right. And if he wants to build a fort near it with a catapult to attack your house, then yeah.
I can't say no. I got to defend my house, but I can't tell him he can't have a catapult. I mean, what are we gonna do?
Oh my gosh.
And then we were looking at another property down south in California in this place called Aguanza.
Wait a minute. Are you in California now?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I live. That's where I be.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Canadian.
What? You're not in Canada? What?
No.
Wow.
Everybody thinks I live in Canada on account of I'm so polite.
Hmm.
So we were down there looking at this property because we were thinking about starting some sort of a
Brothel?
no, an RV park.
Really?
Yeah. So and down there was really really shitty. There wasn't a lot of attractiveness, but what I did find out when I was down there was that because my parking spot for my truck right now is in the dirt.
All right.
But what happened is her parents don't want us to leave because they had heard that we were down there in Aguanga looking for property. So when I came back to the house, he had already had somebody lay down forms, and they were going to pour me a parking space with cement.
Oh my god. Oh damn.
And I was like, Pastor, what are you doing? His name's Pastor. He was like, what? So your car don't get, you don't have to park in the dirt no more. I was like, okay.
Now you need something, some cover for it so that the birds don't crap on it.
They do. They crap on my passenger mirror.
Yeah. That's why you gotta have an overhead cover thing.
The hidden says it threw me off, too, since John sounds so Canadian.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see. Speaking of which, I got to catch up. Too focused on my project. Excuse me. Okay, I'll admit it. When I saw the thumbnail, I thought you were streaming from a grow room. I had to check it out. Like growing weed. Brilliant. Hello, Hidden. Like it? I love it. It's a virtual doghouse. However, are you gay for it?
What?
Weed? Hell yeah. Totally weed gay.
This guy's hella weed gay.
So you're gay for weed. I've sucked a lot of weed. So build on it already.
Well, I told you why I don't feel comfortable building on it just yet.
Alright, so nice to see Dillard without a cigarette in his mouth. Not a fan, but hey, shrug. Then you would have to hire an army. Spoke too soon. What to do? So stop asking. Damn it. Don't you know? Threw me off too. Yep, John sounds so Canadian. Is his first name Louis?
That's a terrible joke, and you should feel bad about that joke. I do hear a lot of birds at your house, WyzGyz.
Yeah, there are actually birds outside. It's still warm. It's 8 p.m. and it's still quite warm outside today. Of course, it beats freezing rain and snow.
And let me tell you, I'll tell you like this. It's like, it would be reasonable for you to say, well, the house is basically yours since it's already in your wife's name. And so you should feel comfortable building on it. Or if you are building on it and you sell it, it'll be worth more, yada, 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 right? But because of that kind of situation we have going on, it's kind of like if they do have the desire to sell this house because they want to help out with the tire shop or they want to invest in something else or whatever, we would have to just go ahead and sell it. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to say, no, well, this is legally my house. You can't sell it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We don't want to be like that kind of people.
You don't want to be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So because of that, I don't want to like invest in building a home here. And then, because the fact is in this yard, with this amount of yard they have, we could legally subdivide it.
Oh, okay.
And make 2 properties.
Right.
And then legally in this county and in this city, every property that has at least 3/4 of an acre can have an accessory dwelling on it. So we could have a total on this property 4 houses.
Interesting.
It could be a money-making extravaganza.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to get into the passive income business, but then you'll have to get into property management as well.
Yeah.
But I don't, lol. Do you live in an aviary? Ha, no. There just happens to be birds out today. We had a line of trees, but I don't know why they're particularly active right now. Are they crapping on your car? I don't know if it's these birds, but some birds have been crapping on my car every now and then. Either on the roof or on the rear bumper. Usually in one of those 2 places.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday, a BB gun.
BB gun. Past Master Dan says, see you soon. Good luck, Dillard.
All right, bye-bye.
Finger up, a checkbox, and a pencil. Oh, all right. Rock in a hard place. Well, he is super duper gay for Ryzy. Well, if they are crapping on your car, just fucking kill them. The kind of in agreement with you in a sense, except you said a BB gun, which I imagine wouldn't be as harmful.
I mean, a BB gun
Oh, well.
be more than able to take care of a bird.
Yeah.
You never seen that Andy Griffith episode where Opie kills a bird with his BB Red Ryder?
Oh, my gosh. I don't remember that episode, but I did watch that series.
Yeah, I remember I tried to shoot a peacock.
You tried to shoot a peacock?
Yeah. The peacock was always, it was our neighbors, not our neighbors, but like somebody in the neighborhood had a peacock, and they would always fly down into our yard and eat all of our chicken's food.
Oh, wow.
And I also had a peacock myself, right? So,
Really?
and I don't know if you ever heard a peacock.
I heard they're really obnoxiously loud.
They go real loud. You hear them for blocks.
Whoa.
And you just be sitting there at night, and all of a sudden you hear because my peacock and that peacock start fighting with each other.
Oh, they were fighting. They weren't mating.
They weren't mating. They were just looking at each other because, you know, the other peacock was free. Mine was in a cage. So they would just be looking at each other through the chicken wire, screaming at each other.
They're trying to come up with a plan on how to make a break for it.
So I set out at night. I told my dad, I was little. I was probably around like 8 or 9. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to set up a little tent. I had a tent, a kid-sized tent. I'm going to set up a tent between the pig cages and then the horse cage in the corral. And I'm going to wait for that peacock to show up and I'm going to shoot it. And he's like, well, go for it, right? And they packed me a burrito in some aluminum foil and let me go camp in the backyard. So I'm out there in the backyard and I fall asleep, of course, because I'm a kid. And then I hear really loud, you know? So it wakes me up because I'm out there. And no more than like 6-7 feet in front of me is the peacock. The neighbor's peacock, and he's waddling back and forth, making a bunch of noise. So I pull out my BB gun, my Red Ryder BB gun. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Red Ryder BB guns. They're probably the weakest BB gun you could own. It's like a lever action rifle, and when you cock the lever, it puts a fragment of air into a small chamber and holds it. It's not like one of those Crossman pump BB guns that you could kill a rabbit with, you know?
Right.
It's a real cheesy BB gun, probably the cheesiest BB gun you could get.
Wow. Good PR team.
So I shoot the peacock, and I get him. And I get him square right in the middle of the body.
Oh, my gosh.
The BB ricochets off the peacock, hits my tent.
Ah! What?
And I hear it hit the tent. I just hear a little flick, like a little, you know? I'm like, what the hell? So I cock it again, and I shoot it again. Same thing happens. It doesn't hit the tent this time, though. I just bounce. I mean, these BBs are weak. This peacock doesn't even flinch or fly away. Just keeps on walking.
That's funny.
So I says to myself,
I says,
look at here, John. It cost you almost $40 to buy your peacock at the Corona swap meet and animal auction. What if you catch this peacock and take it and sell it?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I think to myself, that's a pretty good idea, John. So I take I don't know if you ever had like bales of hay or alfalfa.
No, I never lived the farm life.
Well, they have these small, they're like nylon strings that bind them all together.
All right.
Like if you get a brick of alfalfa, right, a big stack of hay, it'll normally have 2, sometimes 3, depending on how big it is, bands of these ropes, these little nylon ropes, real cheap. And normally, if you go to anybody's house that has animals, you'll see a big lasso where they kind of tie these ropes together just to make one long continuous rope. It's free rope, essentially. So they have a bunch saved. So I grab a bundle of that and I make a little noose. Like because what you want to do with large birds is you want to get them by their feet, right?
Oh.
Because most large birds and most small birds as well have spurs on the back of their feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you look at a chicken's foot like this, right here, they will have a large bone coming out like this with a hook. It's a spur.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how the chickens fight,
Self-defense, yeah.
And a lot of birds have that. I know that my peacock had a small one. It wasn't very big, but it was a big bird, so it was devastating if it hit you. So I'm gonna grab him by his feet and I'm gonna tie up his feet, and that was my plan, right? So I'm following this peacock like this in the moonlight because it's about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm following him and he meanders around the yard and he makes his way in between the goat cages and the pigeon coop. And the pigeon coop and the goat cages, we put a big piece of plywood over the top of them so that the goats could have some shade too. So there was an area in there where he was basically trapped on 3 sides. He couldn't go up and out, he couldn't go back, and he couldn't come forward because I was forward.
Oh.
I was standing there like this. So as soon as he makes his little turn into that little area, I immediately rush in and I grab him and I snatch him up by his feet. But I'm like, 8 years old. I'm not very strong. And this is a big peacock, he's a big guy. And he starts to flap. And he flaps, his wings are so strong that they actually give me little cuts on my face and the sides.
Whoa.
Right here. But it's really, I was like, ay. And I put my hands up like this to block my face. But he's still up here flapping around. And I'm holding him like this. And then all of a sudden, I hear, and he just shit all down my arm.
Oh. You made that peacock shit its pants.
And so now I'm furious. I grab the peacock and I open up the pigeon coop and I throw the peacock in there.
Oh my gosh, you were able to throw it in the chicken coop?
Mm-hmm. And I left him in there with his feet tied up all night long. And the next morning, me and my dad took that peacock to the Chino swap meet and we sold him for $45.
Oh my gosh. And that was the neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the neighbor let on that they knew, or were they like?
I never met. The thing is, he wasn't the neighbor, like not my next door neighbor.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure that he was like in a house around the block. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how when most houses are kind of butt up to their neighbor's house in the backyards touch. He was probably like 2 houses over on the opposite side of the street. You know what I mean? So his backyard was kind of touching the backyard of my neighbor 2 houses over. He wasn't my neighbor, but he was right there in the area, in the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And I knew it had to be his peacock because he had so many goddamn peacocks and he never put them away. They were always just free range.
Wow. What made him stick around? Was it because he kept feeding them?
We weren't feeding him, but we only had so many chickens, and he would come over and he would knock over the lids and dig through the dirt and eat all of our excess corn. Because my dad used to sell eggs as well.
Mm.
So the feed that he would give the chickens was very rich.
Mm.
So that the yolk could be very yellow and tasty. I honestly, to this day, I can't tell the difference between regular eggs and, a better egg than one kind of egg.
Oh, yeah. I can't really tell either. I mean, it's supposed to be healthier to have them organic, which makes sense.
And then plus my dad was a crazy, Mexican thinking voodoo kind of person. He would like when you fight roosters, because he used to fight roosters as well.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah. He used the comb on the top of the rooster's head, this thing. Yeah. He would cut those off, right?
Now what
you get a pair of scissors and you cut them off. And they bleed, and you just put some Vaseline, and it heals up in about a day. but the other roosters really like the comb. Their roosters cannibalize each other, and they will fight over each other to the death to get that comb of another rooster to eat it.
What is the point? Just
roosters. Look, I understand fighting dogs and all that stuff. Roosters are the only animals in the world where they've done tests and they enjoy fighting each other to the death.
wow. So cutting it. What does cutting off the comb?
When you fight a rooster,
all right.
The roosters. The first thing a rooster will do when they want to fight another rooster is they'll peck at the comb.
All right.
They'll grab it. They'll put it on the floor, and they will use their legs to stab and kill the other rooster.
Oh.
So if you cut that off, they don't have anything to grab onto.
And it makes them fight longer.
It's like a boxer putting Vaseline on the brows.
Yeah.
So if you get hit, it slips.
It flicks, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what the point of that is. They also, the wattles on the sides, they cut those off too.
Oh, wow.
So if you ever look at I have this black velvet painting of a fighting rooster.
Oh my God, the black painting. That's funny.
It's a picture of a prize fighting rooster who I think he was 30 fights in 0. You know.
That's kind of funny.
And he had a beautiful mane, all blonde. He was a red rooster, but he had a blonde mane, and very slick face, no waddle, no comb, nothing like that. He looked pretty hardcore.
Cool.
And also, I still have to this day a pair of my dad's rooster fighting spurs, because normally if you have a good fighting rooster, you'll cut off his spurs, and then you'll make them yourself. It's a small actual metal knife spur that you'll tie onto their feet.
A knife spur that you tie onto their feet?
Yeah.
Well, all right, wait. So you cut the spur off of the rooster's leg, and then you attach it to like a little piece of metal, and then you reattach.
No, you don't use the same one, because the thing is like this, right? Think of it like cat claws, right? If a cat is fighting another cat and its claw breaks, his finger is going to get all infected. He'll probably end up losing his hand.
All right.
So what they do is they trim off the actual natural spur of the rooster, and they will tie on a metal one instead.
Oh my gosh.
That way, if it breaks, whatever, it just falls off. Because if roosters commonly will get lots of injuries to their feet when they break their own spurs fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like breaking a tree branch off a tree, and if you don't do it right, you take half the tree with it. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
So that happens sometimes to the rooster's feet.
Oh wow. Dang. That's crazy. So much stuff I didn't know. You have lived a glorious life, Dillard.
Not glorious. The word you're searching for is ghetto.
Yeah. I mean, it almost seems like if you're shaving down the natural one, I mean, I understand what you're saying and everything, but it almost seems like you're cheating.
Yeah, but everybody does it. It's kind of a thing, you know. All right, so here, look, let me show you. This is kind of like the painting that I have. And you can see this rooster has no wattles and has no comb. They've been cut off.
Oh, wow.
So typically, they'll get a black velvet painting of a rooster that does very well in prize fighting.
Gotcha.
And let me show you some rooster fighting spurs here.
Rooster fighting spurs. Does the natural shaved, trimmed down spur ever grow back fast enough to?
Yeah, it can grow back. It can grow back, but it grows back slow, and you want to keep it trim, kind of like dog nails. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just because, like, look at how big they are naturally. Look at these.
Damn. Wow.
And here's some fake ones.
Huh.
So you attach them, you tie them onto the rooster's feet.
Okay.
And they come in a bunch of different sizes and different types of metals. You can get gold ones that have engravings.
That's funny.
Oh, here's a nice one right here. Look at this one.
Damn. Whoa.
And see right here, this hole is
All right.
so that the existing spur, which is usually now kind of like a little nub, can kind of be there without, you know, any kind of like pressure on it.
That's pretty clever.
So they'll fight with those. Here's some more. That one's kind of nice.
Uh-huh.
These ones right here. These ones are the ones that are really popularly used in Southern California. The little knife, they look almost like ice picks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Very thin, and they're meant to go deep and fast, like a needle.
Oh.
The ones with the real big, broad knives on them, those are more kind of like Puerto Rican style chicken fighting.
I mean, I understand going in and out real fast, like a needle, but wouldn't the wider one be as effective as like a dull knife, which is more dangerous in some ways because it
Oh yeah,
tears up the body more?
yeah, of course it would.
Yet the needle style is more popular.
In they call them the sureños, in the Southern California Mexican people.
Hmm. They's got, oh, USA, USA.
Say what?
The hens cheering for the USA. It's going to become an Olympic sport.
It should. The Roosters love doing it.
That is the strangest thing that they love doing it.
Yeah, look at these. Ugh, look at these. Check these out. Ugh. Also, there's certain types of roosters, because they'll do one thing is they'll give a handicap to a rooster that is a certain breed.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a breed of rooster that for some reason, you know how kind of like the king cobra snake, right? Nothing special about the king cobra snake, but the only thing special about it is that the king cobra is immune to pit venom. So even though it's not the biggest snake or the strongest snake or the deadliest snake, a king cobra will eat a actual cobra. It'll eat a rattlesnake. Because for some reason, if you put a rattlesnake in the same arena as a king cobra, the rattlesnake will freeze. And it'll let itself get eaten because it knows it can't win.
Oh, what?
I'm dead serious.
It doesn't even make a break for it?
Nope. Nope. It will freeze in terror at the sight of a king cobra. And the only difference between a king cobra and a rattlesnake is the king cobra is immune to venom.
Shit. Man. The hen's got an idea for a game. It would be Street Fighter, but with roosters.
I mean, roosters are only like $8 at the swap meet. Go get some roosters, have fun.
So do you
the only thing is, it's funny because, you know, it's very macho, right? There's a lot of machismo going around.
Right.
And it's looked down upon. After your rooster wins, you need to go in there and claim your rooster, right?
Okay.
Or if the match is over and nobody has won, you both need to go and get your roosters and break them up. But now you have to get these animals that are all agitated and angry with knives strapped to them and go and collect them. So it's always hilarious to watch these like grown Mexican dudes try to go and get their roosters and act like they're not scared of getting cut.
Oh man. Yeah, that's got to be a sight.
Yeah, but some of these roosters, the breed of them, that like for instance, this one here, this looks probably like one of them. Some roosters are often mistaken by other fighting roosters as being hens.
Huh?
There's a certain breed of rooster that other roosters, no matter male or female, seem to think they're all hens. So they will go up and try to mount the rooster, which then leaves them exposed to the rear spurs of the rooster, which then kills it quickly.
Oh, damn.
So those roosters that are that breed are given handicaps, like they have disadvantages. Like they'll get only one spur, they won't get two. Because you got one of them cheating roosters.
Yeah.
Pretends to be a pretty girl and then stabs you in the gut.
Man.
Aren't you Filipino?
Nope.
You should know all this stuff.
Hell no. Filipino. Yeah. Where do you get that? I can hear it now. I'm going to get my rooster. You get your rooster. Sounds like you need to create a rooster tier.
If you got some sort of online beef with somebody, we can handle this with roosters.
Indeed.
No, here, I'll read this to you, WyzGyz. This is an excerpt from the beginning of my book, The Buckler Descent.
Nice.
This is how the book starts. This is what it looks like. It's on the title page right here. This is the story. And this is where I come up with my Cursed Comics logo of the rooster. So it says, when I was very young, my father taught me a lesson. A very important lesson, just not with words. We were in the backyard with the chickens. I was holding a rooster tightly as my dad cut the comb and wattles off the bird. This was done so that the rooster's opponent would have nothing to bite and hold on to. As he cut the flaps of cartilage off the rooster's face, blood droplets began to fall on the webbing of my hands. I could feel the warmth as the blood crept between my fingers, lubricating them. It was becoming a struggle to hold onto the bird, as it was now flexing and kicking, trying to flee from my weak and slippery hands. "Hold him," my father barked, as the bird flailed in my grasp. I did. When we were finished, the bird trotted away as if nothing had happened. My dad took the pieces of the rooster's face and threw them into another rooster's cage. They were greedily eaten. This was the routine whenever we had a rooster that showed potential as a fighter. The practice of preparing yourself for a cruel and unforgiving circumstance, an event that may be more than you can handle. Tempering your mind and soul for the time that they are truly tested. This is something the buckler never did. That's kind of like a little prologue as to why the buckler, when he went through that trauma in the story I just described to you, snapped and became a murderer bad guy.
Man, that's deep. There could be a web series called Beef with Roosters.
Bum fights.
Hosted by John Dillard. A dramatic reading. Damn. Indeed.
It's a superhero book about a villain. It's not that deep. I got a full page spread of a guy getting his nuts sewed up. It's not that deep.
little do we know just how deep it goes. Because in the next panel, you get to see inside the nutsack.
You see, the camera angle is from inside the nutsack getting sewn up like this.
Does this mean the end?
Is this the end for the left testicle? Find out next week.
Same Buckler time, same Buckler channel.
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah.
So how's your project going?
Slow, but you know, I more or less just started. I collected a bunch of stuff that I'm going to include, but got the cards all cut up.
Damn, that's a lot of cards. WyzGyz.
That was, well, I'm hoping I like through osmosis or something, absorb the abilities of like Sim, who can spit out all these sketch cards in a very short period of time.
I don't think I've ever seen Sim draw. I just see his final stuff on Twitter.
Mm.
Does he do live drawing?
I think so. He's often a guest on a lot of channels.
Oh, that reminds me. I met somebody. I think it was Chimera, who's a friend of Sim's. And he was like, there's going to be a stream on Friday. Today's Friday.
Yeah.
I think he was like, you want to come on? Let me go check to see if anybody's talking about that.
Oh. I'll be doing
my pen stopped working.
Your what?
My pen, I need to charge it for a while. It stopped working.
Oh.
See, the only time the blue light goes on is when it's dead.
Okay. All right.
I guess I can't work no more for at least about a half an hour.
Yeah, I'll be doing. Man, it's still warm. Sounds like the birds are having at it. Oh crap! I got all these proportions messed up. I think. Actually, maybe that just has to be moved back.
Maybe they're not messed up. Maybe they're just drawn too accurate.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny.
No, I was I was arguing with this guy because I had drawn something that was very accurate, but because it was so accurate, it looked like it was drawn wrong.
Oh.
I can show you actually. Let me see. Let me go find it, and then I'll share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, I have it here. All right, now if you recall, this was the no, not this girl. No. This girl, her legs. Can you see what I'm showing you?
Looks all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was saying the legs were too twisted up. But I got this from a photo reference of those people that ride down mountains really fast on longboards.
Oh.
Because this is how they stand on there, and the legs look really tweaked in real life.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a foot. There's a rear foot.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's how it looks. That's how they lay on it. That's how they sit. They squat. And the thing was, it doesn't look right. It's too accurate.
Yeah.
I need to make it look more basic and cartoony to make it look right.
Yeah. I guess.
Even though it won't technically be right, it will look more pleasing to the eye. It'll be correct, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if you put it that way. This is one of your other projects, right?
This was an idea. Yeah, the idea, the beautiful naked big titty women on dinosaurs fighting beautiful naked big titty women in muscle cars.
Yeah.
That's them. This is them fighting, you know.
Cool.
But that's the thing. I did a show a while back called What Are the Iconic Characters in CG?
Mm-hmm.
And we were discussing what makes a character an icon or iconic. And the main crux that we took away from it was that nothing can be iconic unless it is first very famous, so whether you have a character that has a recognizable silhouette, or whether you have a good color scheme or a rock solid outfit configuration, none of that matters if nobody sees it.
True.
You can never become iconic when you're a small indie guy with no following.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that would make the status of icon impossible. So, what I took away from that conversation, and what I think everybody else should have took away from that conversation as well, was that you need to focus on making one of your characters as famous as you possibly can with the resources that you have. So I have decided not to work on anything other than buckler until everybody has heard about and knows the buckler until they're blue in the face like the back of their hand.
I see what you mean.
They need to know the backstory because, you know, you get a character like Spider-Man and his iconic outfit and all that, but that doesn't mean that you know anything about the character. When Spider-Man flashes on the screen, it's because you know that that's Peter Parker and you know that he's a good guy in real life and you know his backstory and you know his story like the back of your hand, that you care that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Spawn, where it's like he shows up and you're like, that's cool, I want to see more of that, even though you know nothing about him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in order to become very iconic, the buckler first needs to be very famous.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can work on the iconography of buckler. Which is why I'm working on a video game for the buckler.
What? You serious?
Yes.
Damn.
Now it's going to be a long time coming. But boy, oh boy, is it going to be good.
Damn, I like this page. What style of game?
It's going to be a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Hmm.
Like the Streets of Rage.
Ah,
or if you're familiar with Altered Beast
yes.
or Golden Axe.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that.
Cool.
Am I still sharing?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you.
Do you know people in that industry, or are you learning to do it yourself?
I'm learning to do it myself.
Whoa.
So here's the animation for the idle stance where he's just standing there ready to fight.
Yeah.
This is it right here.
Uh,
Let me show you. Let me open up a window. Timeline. And here we go.
you got an animation. You got a looping. Whoa, man.
So there he is.
Is that the idle position?
Yes, this is the idol.
Wow.
And then I have one for, let me see if I can open it up. Come on, don't crash on me now, this stupid thing. Where is it? Where is it? Damn it. This is not it. Anyway, I have a walking cycle for him. Oh, I know where I can find it.
Oh, he booted himself.
I'm sorry, I accidentally clicked off the screen.
I see.
No, but I don't know if you're familiar with my friend Marsupial Gamer.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's actually a game developer.
Ah.
So I'm essentially making all the assets. It's going to be like 700 some odd separate drawings for each individual character and their attacks and all that stuff. But he's going to be the one that's actually programming the whole game and putting it together.
Nice. Do you have an estimate as to when you think you might be making it public?
I will probably get a demo available the middle of next year.
Wow, that's soon. Damn.
Like an actual, like almost probably a whole first level.
Woo. Cool.
And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know whether I'm going to make the entire game and then try to sell it, or maybe put it out on some other gaming, like Steam or platforms out there for free to get interest into it. Maybe do a Indiegogo or Kickstarter. I don't have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I know that I want to do something with it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let me go and find my buddy Marsupial's DMs, because I sent him the walking image. Yeah, here we go. Here's the walking image.
You know, in the have you done any attacks yet?
No, still working on those. I did a running one, a walking one, the idle animation. I've done the jump, like the scoot backwards animation. I've done the in-between animation from facing right to facing left. Like if you're walking in the or you're standing in the idle stance, you have to make 4 animations so that he goes from right to left, you know? Like for instance, if a character gets behind him, he has to turn around and face that character.
Right.
So I did the animations for that. I've done one background. I'm not happy with it. I'm going to change it. It doesn't look cool enough. It looks lame.
So Marsupial gave you all the specs on what he needs to put it together, and then you're making those images?
Yep.
Wow.
He's got to have a jab, which is 8 illustrations. He's got to have a hard punch, which is 12 illustrations. He has to have a kick, which is going to be 12 illustrations. He has to have not only those attacks, but he has to have the exact same attacks for when he's crouched and when he's jumping.
Ah.
I have to have a jumping animation. I have to have a jumping forward flip. I have to have a jumping back flip. I have to have a dash forward. I have to have a dash backwards. I have to have, not only that, I have to have animations for when he gets hit in the middle, when he gets hit high, and when he gets hit low. There's a lot of things you got to do. And he's only going to have 3 basic attacks, which is jab, jab, punch, and kick. But he's going to have 3 special attacks. Like, do you remember the game Golden Axe very well?
Not very well, just bits and pieces.
Well, in Golden Axe, if you get a potion, you can do a special attack.
Oh.
And then if you gather 2 potions, you can do a even specialer attack. And then if you fill up your potion meter, you can do your ultimate attack. Or remember like the video game X-Men, the arcade game?
Yeah.
Like that. You know, you save up your specials. Yep. And if you save them up all the way, you can do your most powerful special. So his first special attack is going to be just a backwards thrust. He's going to unhook his buckler from his back and smack somebody in the face with it. If you save up, and that's if you defeat 5 people, you get that power up, that special attack. So for every 5 bad guys you beat up, you could use that. But if you save them and you don't use it, and you beat up 10 bad guys, then you can use your second special attack, which is he pulls out a gun and just shoots straight ahead. And that's going to be like a very powerful attack, maybe even an insta-kill to any normal character.
Gotcha.
Then if you get to 15, if you knock out 15 enemies, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
But if you save it to 20 and you actually knock out 20 enemies without using any of your specials, then you can use your special attack called Stampede.
Oh, okay.
Which is where he crouches down, the antlers fly out of his back, they glow with blue electricity, and he rushes across the screen, followed by a herd of stampeding moose.
Cool.
Now, which will kill essentially everybody on screen.
That's pretty neat.
So
indeed,
it's gonna be pretty fun. And I want to do it. Have you seen the Streets of Rage 4 video game?
Not the 4th one.
Check this out. It came out not too long ago. I'm going to show you the trailer. You let me know when you're ready to look at this.
I'm watching.
All right. So this is what the new Streets of Rage looks like. And I want it to look – now, I don't have a development team, so I'm probably not going to have it look as cool as this. But I want it to look as close to this as possible.
So he's actually on this project?
No.
Oh.
No, his gaming company went under. It was based in Georgia.
Oh.
And then he went through bankruptcy, and then he that ended up killing his actual business too.
Oh, man. Hunter. Cherry Hunter. Floyd area. What kind of games did his company put out? Or were they still in the early stages of being a startup?
This one?
No, Marsupial Gamer.
Oh, they were mobile games.
Oh, whoa, what? Yeah, it's like the cutscenes and some of the backgrounds, they have that painter look. Look. And then you got the manga cutscenes. Okay, all right. I dig it. That's pretty neat.
So it's going to be like that. It's going to be a side-scrolling beat 'em up in the style of Streets of Rage, featuring the Buckler as the only playable character thus far. I am working on a second playable character, but I probably won't be able to get or actually really work on her all the way until I get the demo done.
On her all the way. Her.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bucklet.
Bucklet?
Yes.
What?
You don't know Bucklet?
No.
Okay, well look, here's the idea here for the cover of the video game. I'll show you this. Let's see here.
It's looking good. Oh, wow.
It's gonna be called the Buckler Canadian Tussle.
Love it.
And the three characters I want you to be able to play as is, of course, the Buckler, Bucklet, and then back here, that bastard Todd Harrington. So Todd Harrington is going to be kind of like a Street Fighter style character, and Bucklet is basically going to be like a mix between Cammy from Street Fighter and like Harley Quinn. Because her story is that she is actually the girl that's she's a super fan of the Buckler, right? She works at his bait and tackle shop. She wants to get with him really bad. She's in love with him, but he doesn't give a rat's ass about her because she's too young. She's a kid. She's like 19 years old. She's like, and he's like pushing 40, right? She's not on his radar. He's like trying to get his family back and his daughter, and she's like, "Oh, I love you so much," and he's like, "Shut the fuck up."
Young love.
So what she does is she ends up getting somebody to make a costume for her, the Bucklet costume, which is basically the same costume as his, except it's a bikini. And
that's great. And
but he won't let her go on the ride. Like he won't let her be in the same car, the Buckler mobile, with him and his henchmen. So she has to take a cab wherever they go.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's too funny.
Let me see if I got a picture of Bucklet right now.
And then after we see Bucklet, I got to bring this stream to a close because I have to start a new stream for 9 o'clock.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Bring this out.
Man, I'm behind the times. I hadn't heard about Bucklet.
Yeah, well, she's not out yet. She's not going to be introduced until book 2. That's why. Share screen again, share window, share screen, share window, and share. There you go. This is going to be Bucklet here. I'm still working on her. But basically what she'll have is she'll have the same thing as him. She'll have the
small shield in the back.
No, not a small shield. She'll have the black part here.
All right.
On the hood. I think I'm gonna have her with two black like racing stripes here and here. They go down like this, and then she's gonna have black gloves like the buckler.
Cool.
And then she for her shoes, she's gonna be wearing Doc Martens. But however, right here on her, she's gonna have a gun holster because she carries around two like old, what do you call it? Those old detective style snub nose pistols.
Oh,
so she has them right here on her legs, so she has to bend over forwards to pick them out.
Oh wow!
But that's gonna be bucklet.
That looks good.
And she has a cutout in the back of her mask so that she can have the hair flowing out of there.
Oh right, yeah.
I think I have. Where is it at? Yeah, this is it here.
Is it one of those things where it's her real hair, or is it like?
No, it's her real hair.
Oh, okay.
So this is. I wanted her to have originally a Walther PPK, like a James Bond gun.
Yeah.
But I decided the story is kind of noirish, so probably the revolver would be better. Here are her calf style pistol holders here.
Yeah.
Just kind of showing that she has high top Doc Martens she wears that are black stripe, cleavage slightly spilling out, you know, and then she has a cutout right here for her hair in the back.
Yeah. Shit, your stuff is good, man. Even your concept drawings.
Yeah, that's my concept for her costume idea.
It's good. It's looking good. Welcome, Eric McIntyre. Yo. I am afraid I have to bring this to a close. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Eric, piss off.
It's just coincidental. I got another stream to do at 9.
I see how it is. And Eric sees how it is.
I'm going to give Mr. Draws, Super Duper Gay Risey, the floor. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Absolutely. You can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, anywhere you want to go. You can type in Dillard Draws, and I'll be there. And I'll be there for you.
Oh, man. And you can find me at the usual spots. Check out my stream descriptions, and you'll see all my social media. Please like, comment, subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Mark the bell for all notifications, so hopefully you get notified by YouTube. Though there's a 50-50 chance you won't. I want to thank everyone in chat for being here. Thanks for your company, and thanks for being awesome. And thanks to everyone who watches this on replay. And last but not least, a very special thank you to Super Duper Gay Risey.
I will change that one of these days.
One of these days. Thanks, Dillard, as always.
Of course. And good luck with your sketch cards. Don't kill yourself.
Thanks. Dillard will be there, unlike WyzGyz.
Damn.
Snap. Oh, busted.
In your face.
All right, y'all, take it easy. I'll see you on the next stream. Bye.
Bye.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube translation. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.